Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Have a nice day, student. So this is our next lecture, or you can say that it is the second part of the previous lecture, which is about the adjectives. In the previous lecture, we had discussed that what are the adjectives, how it modifies the noun and pronoun by giving some specific detail about them, and what are the degrees of adjective and how these degrees are compared with one another. We had also see the comparison between the degrees of adjective. Now in this lecture we will discuss that what are the types of adjective and how these type of adjective functions in this sentence, right? Along with the types of adjective, we will discuss the adverb, that what are the adverb, what are the types of adverb, right? So let's start our lecture with the types of adjective. Before going to discuss about the types of adjective, we will go through the definition. We had already discussed in the previous lecture that an adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun by providing a descriptive or a specific detail about them, right? Unlike adverbs, adjectives do not modify verbs, other adjective or adverb. Yes, there is a difference between the adverbs and adjectives, that adjectives do not modifies a verb, some action. It only modifies a noun or pronoun, or the adjectives never modify other adjective or adverb, right? Adjective usually precede the noun or pronoun they modify. They only modifies the noun and pronoun. It has no work with the verbs, other adjective or adverbs. Adjective do not have to agree in number or gender with the noun they describe. Yes, it is also the function, you can say that, or the you can say that it is the work of the adjective that they don't have any concern with the number, that how many numbers are there and what is the gender of noun, but only they describe the noun or pronoun. Adjective answer the following question: what kind, how many, or which one, right? These are the question which answers the adjective, that what kind of noun is there and which one in the group, which one noun is used in the sentence. Like example, Tom bought a used car. So used describe that what kind of car Tom bought. So it means that it bought a used car. So Sally baked 10 pies for the school baked sale. 10 sell, that how many pies Sally baked. So adjective answers such questions. Bob climbed that tree in the backyard. That specifies that which tree Bob climbed, which one tree Bob climbed. So that tree, that specifies the tree. So these are the answer, that what kind and how many and which one is there. These answers are described or explained by the adjective, right? Now the next are the types of adjective. What are the types of adjective? Yes, this is not you can say included in your course, but they are important for the adjective part, right? The number one, descriptive adjective. By the name descriptive mean adjective names a quality of the noun or pronoun that it modifies. Yes, the descriptive mean that the quality of something, the quality of a person, the quality of a thing, the quality of the place. So whenever you name a quality of a noun or pronoun, it modifies, it means that it is a descriptive adjective. Like the brown dog. So the quality of dog is that it is brown in color. So bigger house. What is the quality of house? That it is the bigger one. Fluffy cat. So the fluffy is the quality of the cat, right? This is known as the descriptive adjective. The second one is the proper adjective. A proper adjective is derived from the proper noun. Yes, it it is said that whenever you use the proper noun means the specific one, the important one, the famous one, and the renowned one. So whenever you use the proper noun, you use the proper adjective, like the French class, Spanish food, European car. So it is the proper one, that French class is something different from the other, Spanish food is something different food from the other, and the European card is something different from the other cards. So these are the proper nouns. So for the proper noun there are the proper adjectives, right? Now what is the third type of adjective is the limiting adjective. The limiting adjective restricts the meaning of the word it modifies. Yes, it means that it specifies the thing, it specifies the noun in which it modifies. There are so many cars, for example, but I pointed out that car I see. So that is the limiting adjective, that I am supposed to point out the specific thing. So that car is your limiting adjective. This room is your limiting adjective. The tree I am supposed to you can say that specify this. So that tree mean you can limitizing the adjective. This is the limiting adjective. Clear? So what is the next are the interrogative adjective. By the name interrogative mean it is something related to the question based sentences, right? And the interrogative adjective is used to ask a question. Whose book is this? That whose refer to the book. So it is something you can say that question based or the interrogative type of sentences are there. Whose book is this? Whose pen is this? Like these examples, they are the interrogative adjectives. Now the next one is the coordinate adjective. The coordinate adjective consists of two or more adjectives separated by a comma instead of by a coordinating conjunctions. Yes. Now what is the function of coordinate adjective? That students when two or more adjectives, like there is example a cold rainy day. So cold and rainy are the two adjectives, but they are separated by a comma, not by any conjunction and or but. They are not separated by any conjunctions, but they are separated by the comma. So such type of the two or more adjectives when combinedly used in a sentence to modify a noun, so it is known as the coordinate adjective. By the name coordinate, it means two or more coordinate with each other words by the separated by a comma that modifies something. It means that it is a coordinate adjective. Clear? Yes. Yes. What is the next? To determine if you can replace the coordinating conjunctions with a comma, see if the adjective can be reversed or if and can be added between the adjective without changing the meaning. Yes. What is this? This is what that if the coordinating conjunctions, like I use the word bright and shiny, they are used as bright and shiny, but if I reverse these words, that I use shiny, bright, so the meanings does not change, right? But it also can be correct if I use the conjunctions and bright and shiny car. By adding and between the bright and shiny, it also does not change the meaning. If they are correct in the meaning and if they convey the same meaning in the three situations, when I use the word bright shiny, when I use the reversed process like the shiny bright, and when I use the conjunctions between the bright and shiny, so if the meanings remain the same in three different situations or in three different sentences, it means that our coordinating conjunctions or our adjective is correct, right? If the adjective can be reversed, their coordinate and comma can be used. Right? This, the clown arrived in a bright shiny car. Yes, it is a simple sentence or the related to the coordinate adjective. But if I reverse this, The clown arrived in a shiny bright car. Reversing bright and shiny does not change the meaning. And if I add the conjunctions, the clown arrived in a bright and shiny car, adding and between them does not change the meaning. So it means that I have used the correct coordinate adjective, right? You can check it by your own self. Yes. What comes the next? However, if the adjective cannot be reversed, or if and cannot be used, a comma cannot be used. Like the clown arrived in two colorful cars. It means that there is no two coordinate adjective at the same time, but we combine it into a colorful things, so we can't use the comma between them. The bright and shiny means we contract it into the two colorful cards, so we don't use the comma between them. Or you can say the clown arrived in colorful two cards. By reversing, it changes the meaning. Note it down. If we don't use the comma between them, or we use the coordinate adjective in such a way that it gives the two meanings, by reversing these, it can totally change your sentence. Like the clown arrived in two colorful cars, and the clown arrived in colorful two cars. Reversing two and colorful changes the meaning, right? And the clown arrived in two and colorful cars, adding and between two and colorful changes the meaning. So if the adjectives cannot be reversed, and if and cannot be used, so comma cannot be used in your sentences, right? Now the next type of compound adjective, next type are the compound adjective. By the name compound mean it is also related to two or more words that function as a unit, that depending on its position within the sentence, and the compound adjective is punctuated with and without the hyphen. Yes, by the compound means that two or more words are used and they act as a group. They function as a unit. Depending upon the position, that what is the position of their component in the sentence, and they are punctuated, yes, maybe with the hyphen or without the hyphen, right? When a compound adjective comes before the noun, it modifies, use a hyphen to join the adjective. Yes, keep in mind, if it comes before the nouns, then we use the hyphen in order to modify that noun. But when a compound adjective follows or come after the noun, that we don't use the hyphen to join the adjective. These are the two categories in which we use. If it used before the noun, we use the hyphen, and if it used after the noun, we don't use any hyphens to join the adjective, right? Like she is taking a class on 19th century literature. The adjective 19th century precedes the noun literature, so the hyphen is used. But if she is studying literature from the 19th century, so we don't use the hyphen between the 19th century. Clear? So what is the next type? Determiners as adjective. Yes, we had already discussed in the lecture of the determiners that determinants are used as a lectures. Adjectives. Determiners such as the articles, pronoun, and the number can function as adjective. When a determiner is used and an adjective, it restricts the noun it modifies, like limiting adjective. Determiners function as adjective, tell which one and how many. Student, it is same like the limiting adjective, that we modifies or the specific one. Determiners mean to show out, to point out the specific one. In this type of adjective, it functions as the adjective, tells that which one and how many and who's this, so the specific noun and pronoun is modified by such type of adjective. In this type of adjective, we also use the articles a, an, and the, then the relative pronouns, relative possessive pronouns, my, yours, his, her, relative pronouns whose, which, whichever, demonstrative this, these, that, those, indefinite pronouns any, each, other, cardinal numbers 1, 2, 3, ordinal number last, first, second, and the possessive pronouns Bob's, Sarah's. So we have already discussed in this in the detail in the lecture of the determiners. So you can also got this concept by the previous lectures, right? So I think there is no need to explain this further because we had already discussed it with the deep explanation in the previous lectures. For example, Bob's house is only 3 blocks from that house. So 3 blocks and that house means it answers whose house and how many blocks are there, right? This is the function of the determiners as adjectives. Now our next concept is about the placement and the order of adjective, that in which order and in which placement adjectives are used in the sentence. A single noun can be described in the list of adjectives. When more than one adjective is used to modify a noun, it is important to consider the order in which the adjective appears. Yes, if a single noun is used, it comes along with the noun or pronoun. But if 2 or more adjectives are used to modify them, it is important to consider that which adjective appears first and which adjective appears second. So there are some rules how they replace and how they order in this sentence. Generally, the adjective most important is completing meaning of the noun and place closest to the noun. Following is the usual order of the adjective in series. Yes, determiners, articles, a or the demonstrative, this, those, and a possessive, amount, order. So if we use as a determiners, so such type of order is there. First comes the article, then demonstrative, then possessive, and then the amount, and then the order. So such type of order is there whenever we use the determinants. So coordinate adjective, subjective, evaluate, or the personal opinion, nice, nasty, baked, such type of adjectives are used. So adjective describing also the size, adjective describes the shape, age, color, nationality, architecture, material. And a noun function adjectives that like saucer's wall, the cupboard box, like this. So these are the usual order of adjective in the series. We use the first that determine yani ke articles, then comes the size, shape, age, color, nationality, architectural or material adjective. Like a big brick house, the old brown cardboard, a beautiful young Italian woman. So such type of order like article, person, opinion, age, nationality. So student, this is the order how you use the series of adjective in the sentence. Keep it in mind, it is very important for you in the examination. So student, this is all about the adjective, that what are the types of adjective, what are the placement and orders of adjective, and how these type of adjective are adjusted in the sentence and how it maintain its function in the sentence. So our next topic is the adverb, that what are the adverb. It is the shortest topic, so I add these adjective topic along with the adverb. So let's start adverbs. Yes, as by the name of adverbs, it means that verb is an action of something, or you can say that adverbs that it modifies the verbs. Like the adjective modifies the noun, but adverb modifies the verb and action. Like fast running, so running is your action, so fast running, so fast is the adverb that it modifies, it qualifies your verb. So let's start it with the definition, that what is the definition of adverb. Yes, adverb is the word that tell us More about the verb, it qualifies or modifies the verb a man ran quickly. So ran mean it is a verb, and quickly means ran quickly something, it modifies the action. In the following example, the adverb is in bold and the verb that it modifies it in italic. Let's start. John speak loudly. Yes, how does John speak loudly? It modifies the verb. Afterwards she smoked a cigarette. When did she smoke? Afterwards. So smoked verb, it modifies afterward. Mary lives locally. So where does Mary lives? It also shown by the adverb. But adverbs can also modify the adjective. Unlike the adjective, adjectives don't modify the other adjective or adverbs or verbs, but adverbs can also modify adjective. Like Tara is really beautiful. So beautiful is Tara, but really beautiful means it modifies an adjective. Really is your adverb. Or even another adverb. So what is the function of adverb? It modifies the verb, it modifies the adjective, and it also modifies the other adverb. It works very well. So how it works well, but adverb is the very well that it modifies another adverb. Look at this example. Modify an adjective. He is really handsome. How handsome is he? Really handsome. So that were extremely kind of you. So what kind of you? Extremely kind. How it modifies another adverb? She drives incredibly slowly. How slowly does she drive? Incredibly slowly. So drives is your verb, slowly is your adverb, and incredibly slowly means it modifies another adverb. She drives extremely fast. So extremely is your adverb. Now what are the adverb form? We make any adverb by adding ly to an adjective. For example, if I use quick, an adjective, so we form it quick by add ly as quickly, careful as carefully, beautiful as beautifully. There are some basic rules about the spelling for ly, and see below. Adjective ending ending do this, like adjective quick, quickly. Most of the adjective add ly, right? And if I use quick, then quickly. If the word is end with the e, regret, it changes into regrettably. Happy, happily. So y is end with the I, ly. So happily. I see, economic, so economically, right? So it starts with the I, like this. So there are some rules that how we change adjectives into adverbs. If it ends with the e, simple add y. E stands for any consonant sound, right? And if it end with the y, you can add il, and if it end with the ic, so you start with the ica, and so on. So these are the forms of adverbs. Now there is the kind of adverb. Have you ever seen the basic kinds of adverb? Adverb, you had, I'm familiar with this word, the adverb of manner. That what are the adverb of manner? So adverb of manners tell us the manner and the way. By the name it shows the manner, the way in which something happened. They answered the question how. So adverb of manner mainly modifies the verb. He speaks slowly. How does he speak? Slowly. They help us cheerfully. How did they help? Cheerfully. James Bond drives his car fast. How does James Bond? So the adverb of manners means it describes the way, how it do this, how he did this. So the manner means the way in which something happened. So it is, you can say, the first kind of adverb is there. So what is the second? Adverb of place. By the name place, it shows where something happened. Where does something incident happen? So it answered the question where. Adverb of manner show how, and adverb of place show where. Please sit here. So where should he sit? Here. They looked everywhere. Where did they look? Everywhere. Two cars were parked outside. Where were two car parks? Outside. So it gives the answer where. Now the third is the adverb of time. It plays when. It answers the question when. When something happens. When something about the time that something happened. So he came yesterday. When did he came? Yesterday. I want it now. When do I want it? Now. How, or they can answer the question how often, that how many times you can do this and when do this. They deliver the newspaper daily. That how often do they deliver the newspaper? Daily. We sometimes watch a movie. So how often do we watch a movie? Sometimes. Clear? So it answered the question when. Next is the adverb of degree. Like the previous one, but in this it answered the question how much. How much, or the extent to which something happened, to which degree something happened. So it answered the question how much. Like she entirely agree with him. How much does she agree? What is the percentage? What is the degree of his agreement? Mary is very beautiful. To what degree is Mary beautiful? How beautiful is Mary? So it defined, or it answered the question how much. He drove quite dangerously. To what degree did he drive dangerously, or how dangerously did she drive? So the adverb of degree shows that how much something and which extent of degree something happened, right? So there are the four kinds of adjective: adjective of manner, adjective of time, adjective of place, and adverb of manner, adverb of place, adverb of time, and adverb of degree. So this is the adverb position, how it used. When an adverb modifies a verb, these are usually three positions within the sentence or clause. Front position, that if before subject, now I read a book. So there is the first position, that it comes before the subject. Now I will read a book. And the second position is the mid position between the subject and verb. I often read this book. So I often read it, that it shows the adverb of degree. And the third position is the end position, which means after verb and objective. I read book carefully. So these are the three possible positions in which the adverb modifies the verb. Front position is that it comes before the subject. The mid position is that it comes between the subject and verb, and the end position is that it comes after the verb or the object. Clear? So when an adverb modifies an adjective or another adverb, it usually goes in front of the word that it modifies. For example, she gave him a really dirty look. So student, this is the possibility. Whenever it modifies some adverb or another adjective, it comes along with that word. It comes with that word, that a really dirty look. So a really, that it modifies the dirty look, another adverb. We quite often study English. So quite often mean that it modifies an other adverb, right? Whenever it modifies an adjective and another verb, it goes in front of that word, right? There is another type of the adverb of frequency. So adverb of frequency are the adverbs of time that answer the question how frequently and how often. They tell us that how often something happens. So it is also related to, you can say that the degree, that how often and how frequency you do something. For example, you probably see often, daily, weekly, sometimes. You probably see a difference between and above with word like daily, we know exactly how often. The word in they describe the definite frequency. On the other hand, words like the often give us an idea about the frequently, but they don't tell us exactly the words, and they describe as the indefinite frequency. So what is discussed in this paragraph, that there are two types of, you can say that the frequency is there. One is the definite frequency and other is the indefinite frequency. If I use the word like daily, weekly, yearly, they are the exactly shows that how often I do this. They show the exactly time, they show the exactly frequency of that thing. So we use the word daily, weekly and yearly. But if I use the word often, sometimes, yearly, but it does not tell me about the exact thing. Often, so what often, where sometimes, so it does not give the exactly things I should think. So these words are the indefinite frequency. So the things or the frequency that give the exactly meanings, exactly time, so we it is the definite frequency. And the frequency that don't tell us about the exactly things, these are the indefinite frequency. Clear? So student, this is a short you can say that lecture about the adverbs, that what are adverbs, what are the types of adverbs, how what is the position of adverb in the sentence, and what are the adverbs of frequency, and how adverbs are used to modify the another adjective and another adverb. So this is all related to your adjective as well as an adverb. It is easy to, you can say that easy to grab this concept, because you are already familiar in this basic grammars and in the previous classes. So I think there is no ambiguity in these lectures. But if you have confusion and you have ambiguity in this lecture, you will discuss it with me. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.